This is Qtv News and I am Jenna Bosonko. Thank you for joining us. First, the main local, international and sports news headlines. The British High Commissioner David Belgrove on Monday visited the University of the Gambia, where he held talks with the UTG senior management. The Higher Education Ministry, in partnership with other international bodies on Monday, held capacity-building training for local experts on the use of geospatial information technology applications. The Gambia Press Union on Saturday night held its annual National Journalism Awards to honor the most outstanding journalists in the Gambia. Continuing the investigation into the actions of the NIA, the TRRC on Monday heard from Musa Cham, who alleged that his land was confiscated after he was forced by the NIA to sign falsified documents. In international news, Bangladesh has requested that Egypt continues providing support to the Gambia over Rohingya issue at the International Court of Justice. Gunmen raided a school in the English-speaking region of Cameroon on Saturday and killed at least 8 pupils and injured 12. In sports news, the Qtv Football Academy has resumed training after the Gambia Football Federation advised teams to start preparations for the National League's resumption in December. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Thank you for joining us. Now, the local news in detail. The British High Commissioner David Belgrove on Monday visited the University of the Gambia, where he held talks with UTG senior management. As Alucise reports, this is the first visit by the British High Commissioner to the University of the Gambia.
High Commissioner Belgrove arrived in the Gambia 2 months ago with the desire to further foster the Banjul-London bilateral ties in diverse areas, including education. The courtesy visit to the University of the Gambia campus in Carnivine could be described as a step towards that intent. Receiving High Commissioner Belgrove, Vice-Chancellor of the University of the Gambia, Professor Fakir Mohamed Anjoum, gives a rundown of the evolution, successes and challenges of the UTG. The UTG, he says, will explore the existing bilateral cooperation between Banjul and London, as well as the fruitful partnership between UTG and the British High Commission in Banjul in developing fellowship programs for the UTG.
Rationale for the birth of the university, heavy reliance of the services of foreign expertise was not sustainable. The demands and challenges of growth and development required investment in human capital. For these reasons, we are committed to ensuring that university education is affordable and accessible to the average Gambian. University education in the Gambia used to evoke through the elitism, but the birth of university means that every competent Gambian can have opportunity to access higher education.
High Commissioner David Belgrove says his visit to the country's highest public learning institution is the beginning of a fruitful cooperation between UTG and the British High Commission in a bid to further enhance high-quality education for students at the UTG. He promises to use his stay in the country to create links between the UTG and sister institutions in the UK, stressing the importance of university education to nation development.
That's why I'm honoured to be here today, because what you do is building the foundation for the country. You are building that foundation. You are building that human capacity, and a country is nothing without its human capacity. And one of the things that really impressed me, and I was looking into the university before coming here today, but it was also in the presentation, is that the education you are offering focuses so much on the skills and the capacity that this country needs.
Mamadou Lamin Taro, Registrar of the UTG, and Professor Per Gomez, Acting Deputy Vice-Chancellor for Academic Affairs at UTG, welcomed the historic visit by High Commissioner Belgrove while looking forward to a fruitful cooperation. UTG had and continues to graduate thousands of students in diverse academic qualifications, with many currently serving in the government. The visit by the High Commissioner is expected to attract more support towards ongoing transformation of the institution. Reporting for Qtv News, I am Alucise.
The Higher Education Ministry, in partnership with other international bodies on Monday, held a capacity-building training course for local experts on the use of geospatial information technology applications for sustainable development. This story by Mali Louise N. Sanyang is narrated by Mumudu Gajaga.
The capacity-building training is organized by the UN Operational Satellite Application Program of the United Nations Institute for Training and Research. the United Nations Technology Bank for Least Developed Countries, and the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology. The aim is to train local experts on how to use and interpret satellite imagery with a specific focus on disaster risk management. The advances in scientific, technological and innovations have made significant reductions in poverty and improvement in the quality of life in both developed and developing countries. Maud Eke Seka, the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Higher Education, outlined the importance of the training.
This one-week training course, in which local experts will be trained in the use and interpretation of satellite imagery with a specific focus on disaster risk management, is relevant and timely. Since as a country we have also not been spared with the effects of disaster through floods, storms, and other climate change-related disasters. The training in geospace technologies would be in the near future anchored in the ESET programs and eventually has a center of excellence in this field of study.
Mukhtar M.Y. Dabo, the Director of Science, Technology and Innovation at the Ministry of Higher Education, said the training is more focused on disaster management and creating opportunity for local experts to be fully equipped in making intelligent decisions.
At the end of the day, they should be able to have the capacity to generate satellite data and be able to predict with precision the occurrence of floods or droughts throughout the country. And they would also be in position to observe climate data and be able to make intelligent decisions, to be able to equip them with the skills and capabilities to be able to prepare in advance, ahead of time.
Marisol Lopez Meda, a representative from the United Nations Institute for Training and Research, UNITAR, thanked her partners for facilitating the platform to train some local experts in the country. Answane Sonyasi for Qtv News.
The Gambia Press Union on Saturday night held its National Journalism Awards to honor the most outstanding Gambian journalists for excellence in various categories of reporting. Our reporter Mamadou Gajaga attended the event and he fastened his report.
A star-studded night filled with joy and emotion. The awards honors and celebrates courage and excellence in Gambian journalism across all types of news and information media, print, online, multimedia platforms, radio, television and photography. Mustafa K. Dabo, the editor of Malagan.com online publication, scooped 6 awards on the night, including the prestigious Journalist of the Year award.
I think this is important because awards are like a peer review mechanism. They look at your stories and tell you that this one is worth the recognition of your community. That equally means that this is important enough.
QTV's Aliou Ceesay's incredible piece on the condition of the Bansang Hospital stood out between 2 other contenders, winning the Health and Medical Reporter of the Year award for the 2nd year in a row.
I'm so elated that today I'm, declared the winner again as the best medical and health reporter of the year. This all boils down to the teamwork that we have back at the office QTV. And as I said, once again, like I did with my international award that I won just last week, I'm dedicating this award as well to all Gambians, of course, including medical personnel.
Although not specialized in sports reporting, QTV's Jennifer Sonko's story on using basketball for women to escape child marriage was one of 2 nominations under the sports reporting category. She took it in good faith after the only other contender, Omar Jaju, emerged winner.
Just being nominated is a big win for me because anybody who knows me knows that this is not really my area. Although journalists have to be all-rounders, but this is not my area really. So to me, it's really a big win for me.
Omar Jaju's publication on the Chronicle titled The Rise, Fall and Rise Again of Cricket in the Gambia was described by the judges as good in its angling and that the winner explains in depth into how cricket has evolved over the years in the Gambia.
Going in for these stories, I told my editor, each story that I put out on the Chronicle should be an award-winning piece. And that should be a driving factor for every sports journalist out there.
Alaji Mane, a reporter with the Standard newspaper, won the Migration and Human Trafficking category for his story, Repatriated Yet Not Integrated, a heart-wrenching story of Gambian migrants returnees.
I feel very, very humbled, but also I like to put it out there that this award by itself should not, or doesn't necessarily mean journalists should rest on their laurels, but then they should strive to do more and strive to do better.
Other categories were up for grabs too. Business and finance reporting went to Mohammed S. Bar, while agriculture reporting was scooped by Keba and Sumane. Mariama Cham won the Children and Women's Reporting Award. Jibairu Jane, on behalf of the panel of judges, says they noted that there has been a general improvement in the quality of work submitted over the years by Gambian journalists, especially in the investigative reporting category. However, there were shortfalls too. Depth and insightful reporting was lacking, as shown by some entries. In addition, there was lack of enterprise reporting, where journalists come up with their own stories, as opposed to relying on press releases, conferences, and workshops. Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
Well, congratulations to all nominees as well as winners, especially to our very own Aliou Cisse. Now, continuing the investigation into the actions of the NIA, the TRRC on Monday heard from Musa Cham, who alleged that his land was confiscated after he was forced by the NIA to sign a document and was also locked up for 3 weeks. This story by Babukar C is narrated by Ansumana Isonyasi.
Musa Cham told the Truth Commission that he was a businessman dealing in land when his encounter with the NIA began. An NIA officer told him that he is interested in buying land. Cham stated that he was given some cash and asked to prepare land transfer documents. The NIA officer, he said, blackmailed him by falsifying his signature on a document stating that all the money was paid. The witness said he denied everything, but the NIA threatened and arrested him, and he was forced to sign other papers.
They will arrest you, take you to the station. They will take you to a particular compound. Whatever pleases them, they will do it to you. And when you leave that place, you will not dare say it.
During a second encounter on land issues with the same NIA officers, Cham said he was arrested and detained at the NIA headquarters.
Sindidula killing. That is to take me inside a cell. Were you taken to the cell? Yes, they put me in. And for how long did you remain detained at the NIA? 21 days.
Okay,
so after I fell, one came and kicked me on the side, on my ribs. While I fell, it was after that I realized that my hand had a problem. They then told me that I was wasting their time. I should have not spent all of that time there. Then I said to them, I am going to sign the document and I'll give it to you. At that time, my hand was spinning me a lot. Two of my fingers had a problem.
The witness alleged that at one point, one of the NIA officers threatened to shoot him if he continued to waste their time. Out of the $300,000 price he charged the NIA for the land, the witness said he ended up receiving less than $30,000. After 21 days in detention at the NIA, Cham was bailed and was reporting to the NIA before being asked to pay $90,000 to an NIA officer called Talambub. The witness said he never had peace with the NIA until in 2017 when Jammeh left the country. Ansmane Sonyasi for Qtv News.
We will go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, the news continues with some more local news stories. Do stay tuned. Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News. Now, Fatima Trading, a privately owned furniture retail business, on Monday presented a set of furniture to QTV as a show of gratitude for QTV's efforts in promoting local businesses. Here is an excerpt.
Man ma wara gërëm Mohamed parce que Mohamed defal na ma loo xam ne musuma ko xalaat. Mohamed tax na ba QTV yóbbu nañ sama business bi àddina si yëpp.
I should be the one expressing gratitude to Mohamed Jah, because he has done something I could never imagine. It is because of him that the television has shown my business to the whole world. Anyone who calls me about my business would tell me that they saw it on QTV, and all that support was for free. It was done from Mohammed's initiative. I have a big and positive wish for QTV and cannot be more thankful enough.
Tay QTV ñoo fi ñëw pour gërëm la sant la waaye maa ngi ko def nag ci cadre CEO bi mooy Mohamed Jah.
We are here today to express our gratitude on behalf of the CEO of Q Group, Mohamed Jah. He has acknowledged that you are one of those who have supported the television station since it began operations. You have done this selflessly without expecting anything from it. On behalf of QTV, we thank you a lot for this beautiful support to our work.
Well, thank you for that to Fatima Trading. Now, Smile Al Gambia Foundation, in collaboration with Beauty Queens on Saturday, organized free breast cancer screening, raising awareness about the dangers of the disease and its impact on women and girls. More in this report.
The campaign is designed to promote awareness, impact lives and support early detection among women and girls and teach women how to self-examine themselves to detect cancer. As October is the Cancer Awareness Month, series of activities are carried out to enlighten and support women who are battling with cancer and sensitize those who are cancer-free on early detection and prevention. Cancer is the second leading cause of death globally, accounting for an estimated 9.6 million deaths, or 1 in 6 deaths in 2018. According to the World Cancer Report, cancer rates could increase by 50%, which is 50 million cases a year globally. Soma Binjai, the Assistant Secretary General of C3G, urges women to participate in cancer screening. She calls on government and donors to work collectively and be part of the adventure to save lives.
Therefore, our message today is one of hope. Let's go from no survivors to 90% to 100%. We want to inform people that they're better off confronting cancer rather than ignoring it. And secondly, we want to work hand in glove with our government in their efforts to bring better care for cancer patients and to provide a dignified end of life care for those who, despite their fight.
Dr. Nene Ba, who works at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, explains how women should examine themselves for early detection.
This other part, your arm is straight and your forearm and hands are holding your waist. This is to provide tension so that you will be able to look at your breast properly. So if you do this, then because you're looking in front of the mirror, then you look at both breasts, both of them. This examination is best done after your menstruation. You have to examine the entire breast. So look at this breast as a whole. If you want, you can divide it into 4 parts and examine each part. You have to examine with the flat part of your finger, here. Not to do it like this, no. You examine flat against the chest, like this. Do you see like this? You can't examine like this. No, it's not the tip of your fingers, but the flat part of your fingers.
Mr. Bayo, Ward Councillor for Latukunda Sabiji, applauds the organizers and participants for their laudable initiative.
Really, what I would like to advise you is to continue what you are doing. This is what is expected of a good citizen. We are the people who are to build this nation. And thank God that is the footstep you have taken now. So I would like to assure you that myself and the entire council are ready to be with you and give you all necessary support in complementing your efforts.
Mariama Jallo, Elias Bobo, a beauty queen and founder of Smile Al Gambia, advised youth, most especially beauty queens, to utilize their crowns to make positive impacts in societies.
Use your crown to change community. Use your crown to represent the Gambia. And we are calling on the government as well to support these beauty queens, because we all have issues that are really pressing and they are very, very important. But then also the support is not there. That's why for Smile Al Gambia we decided, okay, why not we actually start from somewhere? We cannot wait for the government to come. We cannot wait for private individuals or institutions to come.
The event was marked with the slogan, "Every Lives Matter," and wear pink for your mom and sisters. Women are more vulnerable to cancer and are sometimes stigmatized in society. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
We will take another short commercial break, and when we come back, we will take a look at international and sports news. Do stay tuned. Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News. Now, in international news, Bangladesh has requested Egypt to continue providing support to the Gambia over the Rohingya issue, which is before the International Court of Justice as a leading OIC member country.
According to the Foreign Ministry, the request was made by the Bangladeshi Foreign Minister, Dr. Ak Abdul Momen, when outgoing Ambassador of Egypt, Walid Ahmed Samseldin, called on him on Sunday to discuss bilateral trade and investment issues. The Egyptian ambassador assured the foreign minister of his country's continuous support over Rohingya repatriation. On Friday, the Gambia filed an over 500-page memorial, which also includes over 5,000 pages of backup material in its lawsuit against Myanmar at the International Court of Justice in The Hague to prove that the government of Myanmar is responsible for genocide against the Rohingya. According to human rights organization Fortify Rights, the government of Myanmar should immediately comply with the ICJ orders to prevent the ongoing acts of genocide and preserve evidence of genocide against Rohingya Muslims. In November last year, the Gambia opened a case at the ICJ against Myanmar for failing to prevent or punish the genocide against Rohingya Muslims. Following the filing of the case by the Gambia, the government of Myanmar had 3 months to file a counter-memorial at the ICJ in response to the Gambia's genocide allegations. Reports say the memorial and the counter-memorial will not be made public for the duration of the trial, which is expected to last several years. Bangladesh has an interest in settlement of the case as the country is host to over 1.1 million forcefully displaced Rohingyas in its Cox's Bazar district, most of whom arrived there since August 2017 after the military crackdown in their motherland. Answane Sonyasi for Qtv News.
Gunmen raided a school in English-speaking region of Cameroon on Saturday and killed at least 8 pupils and injured 12. Since 2017, the army has been struggling to contain a separatist insurgency seeking to form a breakaway state in English-speaking southwest Cameroon. Mahmoud Mbouch has the rest of that.
At midday on Saturday, attackers in civilian clothes, armed with guns and machetes, arrived on motorbikes in the city of Kumba in the southwest region of Cameroon and opened fire indiscriminately, killing at least 8 children and injuring 12, according to the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs. The city sub-prefect, Ali Anogu, is quoted by Reuters saying they found the children in class and they opened fire on them. A student is also quoted in some of the reports saying, "We were having French language lesson when we heard gunshots. The teacher was the first to escape and I heard people shouting. When I came back to check, I saw dead bodies in the primary school section." Other eyewitness accounts reveal that some children got injured jumping from second-story windows. Video images of the incident circulating on social media show adults rushing from the school with children in their arms, surrounded by wailing onlookers. One image shows the inside of a classroom where a pile of dried blood had pooled on the floor near some scattered flip-flops. No group has claimed responsibility so far for the attack, but authorities put the blame on separatist rebels seeking to form a breakaway state called Ambazonia in the English-speaking West. The authorities have vowed to hunt and kill the perpetrators. Since 2017, the separatists have been enforcing a boycott of schools affecting about 600,000 children to protest against what they consider as educational injustices against English speakers. According to Cameroonian officials, the separatists have regularly targeted school buildings, burning and damaging scores of them. They have also killed, kidnapped and maimed students and education officials for not complying with their education ban. Hundreds have died and thousands displaced because of the conflict, with many children unable to attend school. But even with this trail of violence and deaths, Saturday's attack has been described as a grim new low in the conflict, and without a solution to Cameroon's so-called Anglophone problem, many analysts warn that the atrocities will not stop. Cameroon's 2 Anglophone regions, the northwest and southwest regions, are home to a large minority of English speakers in a country where French speakers are the overwhelming majority. The English speakers have, however, long complained of political and economic discrimination against them by the central government, whose lethal response to the protests for reforms provoked a breakaway group to declare in 2017 independence for a region they call Ambazonia. Cameroon is another conflict hotspot in a region where violent conflicts are increasing and experts fear could deteriorate even further, engulfing most of the countries if governments do not find solutions to them soon. For QTV News, I am Mamadou Mbouch.
Now on to sports news. The Qtv Football Academy has resumed training after the Gambia Football Federation advised teams to start preparations for the National League's resumption in December. More in this report.
Under strict COVID-19 preventive guidelines, the players are back in training after more than 6 months of an enforced halt in their activities during the coronavirus pandemic.
I feel very great and very happy for coming back to train because I miss my friends and I miss playing football.
Because I have been sitting for 6-7 months without training, I overmiss football. Because I do train, individual train around the beach, sometimes our area at the field there, I do have sometimes 30 minutes, 1 hour training there.
The assistant head coach of Qtv Football Academy, Badu Saidi, stated that the players really missed the game and fellow teammates. He also sent a message to other players who failed to turn up for the training.
We are back here today for training, and then we want to thank first of all the government for allowing players to come back to training, and also want to thank the parents for allowing their kids to come for training.
The head of the Qtv Football Academy, Ibrahim Amane, says he misses the players and is happy to see not only the players but also the visitors.
We make sure when they come into the complex they wash their hands, and in football it's difficult to do social distancing, but we make sure that we provide similarities whereby we will avoid conditions that will encase. But the issue here is we have a thermometer that tests the players' temperature. So all the players, not only the players, but all visitors coming into Qtv are tested, check their temperatures, whether they are within the range applicable, which we did. That will allow at least some degree of lessen COVID issues that probably might spike among us.
Qtv is the Gambia's first multipurpose recreation center offering activities for children and adults of all ages. It is fully equipped with world-standard facilities and a one-stop shop for family entertainment, leisure and sports. Reporting for Qtv News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Before we end this news bulletin, let's take a quick look at our main stories. The British High Commissioner David Belgrove on Monday visited the University of the Gambia, where he held talks with UTG's senior management. The Higher Education Ministry, in partnership with other international bodies, on Monday held capacity building training for local experts on the use of geospatial information technology applications. The Gambia Press Union on Saturday night held its annual National Journalism Awards to honor the most outstanding Gambian journalists. Continuing with investigation into the actions of NIA, the TRRC on Monday heard from Musa Cham, who alleged that his land was confiscated after he was forced by NIA to sign documents. In international news, Bangladesh has requested that Egypt continues providing support to the Gambia over the Rohingya issue at the International Court of Justice. Gunmen raided a school in the English-speaking region of Cameroon on Saturday and killed at least 8 pupils and injured 12. In sports news, the Qtv Football Academy has resumed training after the Gambia Football Federation advised teams to start preparations for the National League's resumption in December. Well, that is all we have for you in this edition of Qtv News. Join us at 10 for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.